All right, making the pinch pot. Start with a ball. Okay. Once you have the ball, you're going to stick your thumb in to the middle. Don't go all the way through. You're going to leave about 1/4 of an inch between, or to 1/2 an inch between the tip of your thumb and the bottom of the ball. And it's called a pinch pot simply because you're pinching. You're pinching and turning. So notice what I'm doing. While I'm pinching, I'm using my left hand to turn the pot. Of course, if you're left-handed, you'll be doing this the opposite way. So as I'm turning, I'm pinching, and I'm using, to start with, all of this area on my fingers. And I'm pinching from the bottom up, spiraling. Notice I have not begun to pinch anywhere on the lip yet, and you will not pinch on the lip till later. So I'm turning it as I'm pinching, still using this part of my fingers. I'm spiraling up, just like that. Once I get to this point, you see how even you want it. Also, see the bottom, I don't have a big fat bottom on here. I'm keeping the bottom narrow, like the bottom of an egg. It's more elegant that way, and it fires better that way. So I'm gonna feel around and look for spaces that are in the wall that are thicker than others, and I'm going to try to level it or even it out. See, now just as I'm doing this, I'm slightly pinching the lip, but I'm not going up here and working the lip and making it super thin. You don't want to do that. Once you reach this point, you notice the lip here, you notice the thickness of the wall. Once you reach this point, you can begin to put the pot in your hand, cup it in your hand just like this. So your hand is shaped like that. You're going to cup it, and you're going to begin to use the tip of your thumb and press from the bottom up the sidewall. And it's stretching the clay. Think about what's happening. The clay is being stretched as it's being pressed against my hand with my thumb. Again, still, look at this lip. I haven't done anything with the lip yet. Okay, so now, as I'm turning it, I'm not pinching it much anymore. What I'm doing is sliding my thumb up as I turn it. Because the idea here and what I'm doing is trying to thin the wall out. Always holding it and cupping it. So I want to keep that nice, elegant shape on the bottom. Just like this. Now I'm going to smooth that lip a little bit. Now I'm going to start to work the lip now that I'm into it. So I'm turning it and barely pinching. Again, I don't want the lip to be so thin that it can be bumped or knocked against something and crack or break once it's finished. And pressing, you see what I'm doing? Pressing against my hand, stretching the clay. So I would set it aside now and wait a little while until it stiffens a bit, when I can start to refine it. I'll be able to stretch it even more later, in your case probably the next day or tomorrow, and you can stretch it as it stiffens. But now once it stiffens up a little bit, we call that leather hard. You can carve into it or add to it. You can refine it and smooth it more. A lot of things you can do after that, but you have to take your time, and it will take practice. There we go.